Hello and welcome to the ZeroPark webinar. This webinar is for beginners and new users on ZeroPark. My name is Neil, one of the account managers at ZeroPark, and I will be taking you through this basic setup guide. Okay, let's look at the contents. We will be looking at traffic types, how to create a campaign and set it up, the tokens in ZeroPark, the syntax for those tokens, the top offers, keywords, how they work with domain and pop, the volume tool, how to use this to effectively look for keywords, the bidding, how this affects the traffic division, the best practices, filtering, and a quick volume plug. Okay, right, so traffic. There are two types of traffic on ZeroPark, domain and pop. The first one we are going to look at is domain. Domain traffic comes from misspellings or generic URLs. In our example here, we have YouTube with an I. What happens is the user types in this address, this misspelling, and then is redirected by a 302 to redirect to your landing page. We also have some generic domains in the corner that you can test with US traffic. Speedtest.com, taxis.com, and taxinfo.com. Okay, so the next type of traffic is popover. Popover, it comes from opt-in adware. What happens here is the user types in an official domain. And then the adware causes a pop to expand over the top of the browser to the full size of the browser window. So this is how you can target official domains on ZeroPark. Okay. Traffic blend. We suggest that you use a mixture of the pop and domain traffic. You test both as they both have different merits. Domain traffic tends to be more expensive and lower volume but higher converting. Pop tends to be higher volume and less converting, but then again the amount of volume makes up for it. Okay, it makes a lovely traffic cocktail. Now we're going to have a look at creating a campaign on ZeroPark. I have chosen to show you how to set up a keyword campaign as it is one of the more complicated setups. But first we'll go through the types of campaign and traffic. Okay, so firstly you need to choose the traffic type. It will ask you whether you want domain or PPV. Here I selected PPV. We have, as you can see here, we will have search traffic soon. It is an option that is coming along probably within the next couple of months. Okay. There are four main types of campaign on ZeroPark. There is a run of network. This is when you want to target all traffic from one geo. The way the amount of traffic is decided that you get is entirely by the bid. So if you wanted all US traffic and you wanted high volume, you could bid something like 2 or 3 cents. You get high volume of traffic there. Multi-geo is the same as a run campaign, except you can put multiple countries in. So for example, if you had a landing page that worked with English-speaking countries, you could put several English-speaking countries into one campaign and bid on all of them. A target campaign. Target campaign is when you get targets from our system. You take these target IDs and put them into this campaign, and it allows you to bid exclusively on those targets. So for example, if you have a good hash from one of the campaigns or a domain, you can take it into this campaign and really bid up on it. The last is the keywords, which is what we're going to look at now. This is for targeted visitors. Obviously, you can target either generic keywords or you can target URLs as well within this campaign. Okay, so setting up. First, you need to enter the name of the campaign and select the country you want to run it in. Here I've put Diet Offer 1 and we're running in Australia. You set the bid. The bid determines how much traffic you get, how much you're going to pay per visit. Then you set the daily budget. You can either set this as unlimited or have a cap on it. Here we have $20, so as soon as it hits $20 each day, it'll stop spending. Same for campaign budget, but this is over the entire campaign. So once the entire campaign hits $100, you'll stop spending entirely. Next, you need to select your traffic filters. You can filter by desktop browser, desktop OS, mobile OS. We also have a frequency cap, but we suggest to leave this quite low as we found out that you tend to get quite a few converting visitors from repeat visitors. So don't put it too high, else it will lower the traffic and raise the cost. You can also here select adult and non-adult traffic. The box that you leave checked is the one that you are targeting. So here we have non-adult traffic on and adult traffic off. Okay. If you're running an adult campaign, you will need to make sure that you've selected adult traffic only. Okay. Day parting. The day parting feature allows you to run your campaign at certain times. This is set to the time zone of your account. If you go into the My Account tab within your dashboard, it will show you what time zone you have the account set to. For example, if you want to run a campaign in the US, you have to think, and you live in Europe, you have to think 6 or 9 hours behind to make sure the campaign's running at the right time. Okay, then you add your destination URL. We have an example one here. I'll show you how to set that up properly later, but that's the rough one there with the sub-IDs and the basic tokens. Then once you have done this, you can choose to put conversion tracking in if you want to track your conversions within ZeroPark. There's two ways to do this. You can either do it with a pixel, which you put on your conversion page and the pixel fires back to ZeroPark, or you can do this with a postback, but the postback needs to be set up with your affiliate network. So they'll send a ping every time you get a conversion to ZeroPark, and it'll show up in your dashboard. Now you can add the keywords after you've hit save. As you can see here, I've entered the keyword Weight Watchers, and it's come up with all the available terms for Weight Watchers. I can add Weight Watchers on broad, or I can add the exact keywords for the websites. I would always suggest putting keywords in on broad, even websites, because as you can see here, we have weightwatchers.com, welcome.weightwatchers.com, login.weightwatchers.com, login to weightwatchers.com. So there's all these variations that are available of the keyword if you leave it on broad that you'll be bidding on. Whereas if you put it on exact, you will miss out on these keywords. There is a reason to have some keywords on exact, which we'll talk about later. But for now, we'll move on. Oh yes, you can add the keywords either one at a time, or you can add them in bulk. If you bulk add keywords, it means you can grab a group of keywords and stick them in all at once. There is also the opportunity here to add negative keywords. So if you see any keywords that you don't like from the list, you can add them as negative keywords here and not target them at all. Okay. Next is to wait campaign approval. All campaigns on ZeroPark are manually approved by our account managers. So we have to look at every campaign. So during our finished hours, 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. Central European Time, Monday to Friday, campaigns will usually be approved within the hour. On weekends and outside of office hours, campaigns can take up to 12 hours to approve, because we need to sleep and we need time off, of course. Okay, we're human after all. Okay, next we're having a look at the tokens in ZeroPark. There are a couple of this will show you how to throw the syntax together. This is a very basic syntax if you're not using, so if you're using Google, for example, all the sub-IDs will be UTM. If you're using volume, it will be variable, VAR. Here, they're just the name of the token. So in the first one, after the /? you have the first sub-ID, which is target, and after the equal sign, it in the curly brackets is the token. Same for, and then you have, if you want to add more, you add the ampersand and keyword. Then in the curly brackets is the, after the equal sign is the token. So make sure that your campaigns are at least tracking target and keywords to make sure you can optimize the campaigns. But here is a list of available tokens. We have target, which sends the domain hash. So these are the target IDs from our system. Keyword, which will send the keyword string. So all the keywords that are attached to the URL. this works for domain and for pop traffic. This is, for example, what you would get from a domain campaign. It sends glasses, sunglasses, hats, and match. The next token will send you the exact keyword from that group that got you the visit. So if you're targeting a domain, this may appear here. If you're targeting a URL, this may appear here in the keyword string. CID token, if you're using the postbacks or the pixel, this is where ZeroPark knows where to send the data, so make sure you have this if you want to track conversions on your platform. The next token is the target URL. This only works with POP. This will, if it's available, it will send you the target URL, the ID of the domain that's sending you traffic. Visitor type, so if you're targeting adult and adult traffic, you can find out which one you're getting more conversions from. The geo, so this will send the country codes. If you're doing a multi-geo campaign, this is very useful to see which country is sending you the most conversions. And lastly, the campaign ID and the long campaign ID. So if you need this for your network, you can have these also installed onto your tracking. We also send, there is also another token for campaign name, just in case you need to set that up with your tracker as well, just in case it gets a bit confusing. Okay, so the top offers on ZeroPark currently. Two that go together are shopping and holidays. These are usually direct linking campaigns to the shopping or the booking site. This, what happens here usually just targets on a keyword campaign, targets Booking.com, Expedia, Trivago, and all that kind of stuff. And for the shopping one, they target sites like eBay, Allegro, and other shopping sites, Amazon, stuff like that, and then send traffic directly to these sites. Next is credit reports. These are a little bit more targeted. These people usually target the names of banks like HSBC or Chase or Bank of America, and they do one credit score for each one. Next category, dating. Dating you can run either two ways. You can run it just on dating keywords, targeting sites like Plenty of Fish and stuff like that. Or you can also run it on adult sites, which opens you up to a lot more traffic. These are also keyword campaigns usually. I think that unless you're doing a worldwide or multi-geo campaign, it's a better idea to use keywords and keyword targeting with adult or dating campaigns. Toolbar downloads, this encompasses a couple of things like antivirus and stuff like that, and tech support. These are popular on our system, but also very heavily vetted, so make sure that if you put one of these up, you've complied with all the rules that we have. There are some advertiser guidelines available in your account. If you break any of the laws, the rules, sorry, your campaign will be rejected. Okay? Cool. Keywords. So the keywords work slightly differently between pop and domain. So for example here, each of these keywords is targeting the same thing. Hotels and Booking.com are targeting both hotel sites. Flash Update and YouTube.com, Credit and HSBC.com. As you can see on domain, you target more keywords, whereas with pop, you target the actual URLs. So that's the main difference. If you're using domain, you might have to be a little bit more creative in your keywords, keep them short and straight to the point. And for pop, think as many domains as you can. A useful website for finding domains to start with is similarweb.com. So if you're stuck for any ideas, just go to there and look up some domains. Look up the most popular ones in the country. This is the most useful tool we have on the system. Make sure you use this every time you set up a campaign. It will tell you how much traffic is available for the source, the OS, adult traffic or not. You have lots of filters there for run of network. Also, when you switch over to the keyword tab, it has all the same filters. So as we were looking at Weight Watchers earlier, here's also some figures for Weight Watchers, and you can check by country. So maybe if you were looking for just the German Weight Watchers, and you can see the traffic and the average bid. One thing you can see here is that some of the bids have a price of nothing, 0, 0, 0, 0. This does not mean, unfortunately, that the traffic is free. What this means is that no one is currently bidding high enough to buy that traffic on our network. So there is not enough data in the system to give an average bid. So don't go on thinking that we're giving away traffic for free. You always have to bid competitively. Good advice is, if the keyword doesn't have a price, find out what the price for the run network for the country is and bid above that. If the keyword does have a price and it is more expensive than the price of the country, bid at the keyword price. Okay? Bidding. So we're going to look at a little bit of bidding division in ZeroPark, how it affects the traffic division. So this lovely handmade graph here, not entirely accurate, but the top bidder gets 60 to 90% of the traffic from a domain, and then it is divided down proportionally. So second place might get 5%, third place 3%, fourth place a fifth of a percent, and so on and so on and so forth. When you first come onto the system, you want to try and hit around second or third place in the bidding. You probably don't want to be first because the traffic will be too much to truly optimize your campaign out. Whereas in second or third, you'll probably have a nice inner flow of traffic to find some good targets and then start bidding up on them and then start increasing your bid. So always aim to be around second or third when you first come on. Obviously, the older the traffic, the longer the cycle it is. So the problem with bidding with the lower end traffic is there's probably less conversions available in 6th or 7th place. Okay. Here is a pyramid of filtering. So this is an example of how filtering works on ZeroPark. At the top, you can see we have run, which is the widest vertical. You have all the traffic coming in there, as much traffic as possible. Slightly tighter than that is run mobile. Tighter than that is a keyword campaign, because you're going for targeted traffic. Keyword mobile is even tighter. Keyword mobile, and then an operation type, Android. And finally, a campaign where you'll basically get no traffic at all. Keyword mobile, Android carrier only. With this much filtering, you'd probably get 1 visit a month, and it'll probably cost you about $40 or something like that. So try, obviously, to keep the filters at a minimum. That's what we're trying to say here. If the broader you can be on ZeroPark, the better. So the broader the campaign, always the more traffic you will get. Okay, a quick look at the best practices. You must always use tracking in ZeroPark. We do not allow campaigns to run without tracking, as we don't see the point of not being able to optimize the campaign. It is a waste of time. Always use a landing page. Direct linking hardly ever works. Apart from with the shopping campaigns we mentioned earlier, you need a call to action. You need to make sure that your visitors are motivated, so make sure your landing page is strong and well designed and well targeted. Track by targets. You need these to optimize, so you must always keep an eye on your target IDs, because this will tell you which targets are really working with your campaign, and you can always bid up on them. Then you can optimize by pausing targets that do not convert, or by moving the new targets to a new campaign. So like we looked at earlier with the target campaign, you can move the converting targets across to that and really start to work on a good campaign. Use run for general campaigns, so so we were talking about toolbar downloads and stuff like that, or pin submit or something like that with the web browser, when you want something nice and wide and just big volume going to it to really get the numbers in. You can use keywords for your targeted visitors. So if you want to do weight loss, or you have a product that specifically needs, or hotels are booking the ones that specifically need that kind of targeted traffic, then you need to make sure you're using keywords. As we said earlier, do not start with low bids. Lower price equals lower quality traffic, of course. And then also, we always suggest that you do as much split testing as possible. So split test by browser, by operating system, just to see which traffic really works to your campaign, especially on a run of network, because one browser can work so much better than another one. And there can be no reason for it, but sometimes you can find that. Okay? Right, so if you have any questions, of course we are open to questions. You can send it to support@zeropark.com, and we are busy, but we'll do our very best to answer them and get back to you as soon as possible. And lastly, of course, our lovely tracking tool with the same company under CodeWise Volume is free to use ZeroPark traffic. So if you are new to ZeroPark and fancy trying out Volume, this is the best time to do it. You can go over to Volume, get a free account, and start tracking ZeroPark traffic right away. Also, because ZeroPark is a predefined sourcing volume, the basic tracking with targets and keyword is set up for you already within the campaign, so you don't need to set up yourself. Okay? Thank you very much. I hope that's been informative. Once again, any questions, please send to support@zeropark.com. I've been Neil Burton. Thank you very much. Good night.